Hey, thanks for stopping in to Kendall's Outdoors. We appreciate your view. What we have here is some video clips of a brand new thermal imaging riflescope that we picked up. It's the AGM Rattler TS35. You're looking at some deer that are about 35 to 40 yards on the other side of my swimming pool up against a tree line. We're going to go through the different color patterns. Started with white hot, then black hot, fusion, and red. Not a big fan of red, but to each your own. You pick yours and go with it. Me, I like the white hot and the fusion. This is a digital zoom camera, but it is clear enough that when you zoom in, as you'll see in just a minute, you don't really have any problems distinguishing where your crosshairs are as to what part of the body. It doesn't get so pixelated you cannot tell what it is. Personally, on the base magnification, it works fine for me. But let's go through it real quick just so you can get an eyeball on it and see how it does. There you are at 2 times, 4 times, and 8 times. Again, if you had to take a shot and you're just unsure of your shot placement, you can zoom into 8 times and feel confident you're going to hit wherever you aim it at. Right here is a little pig that kind of snuck in on us. We was out there looking around thinking we was going to see some raccoons or something, and it kind of slipped in out of the tree line pretty early on in the afternoon. And it had me shaking a little bit, as you see. We're just holding that TS35 in our hand. We haven't mounted it to anything yet. We got to decide which way we want to go with it. Again, this is a digital zoom scope, so when you zoom in, it does get a little pixelated, but not to the point that it affects you and what you're aiming at or where you're aiming at. As you can see, there's a rabbit in the bottom right hand corner here, right in front of the hog trap. That's probably about 25 yards away from me. The pig itself is almost 80 yards away. No, I take that back. I'm sorry, about 60 yards away. And base magnification, you have no problem. But there's 2 times zoom. Then we'll go to 4 times. Eight times for good measure. And as you can see, you can still tell each leg from one another. No issues whatsoever. There's black hot. Next will be fusion. Lastly, followed up by the red hot. Again, not a big fan of the red hot, but that's just me. Next clip you're going to see are some deer on the back side of my pond. That's going to be about 80 yards. We're starting off in white. We have a rabbit out there that's kind of sitting in the inside the hog trap that's probably another 15 yards behind those deer. So that rabbit is probably real close to 90 yards away. And again, we're on 1 time zoom, and you really have no problem seeing that rabbit. Shooting it might be a whole nother ball game. We're going to stay in the same area, still on the back side of the pond. Now our hog trap is filled up with raccoons. Now we all know about the size of a raccoon, how big their bodies are. There's a couple of decent sized ones in there, and then there's a few juveniles in there. So just make sure there's an assortment of different sizes. But again, at 80 yards, you have no issue telling what they are, and identifying that those are definitely raccoons. That it's not a little sounder of piglets or anything like that. You can definitely tell a raccoon from a piglet at 80 yards. I have had no problems whatsoever identifying my animals out to about 150 yards with this scope. The scope also has picture-in-picture, and your secondary picture can be top left, center, or right. Here in a minute we're going to switch over. We're going to stay on this hog trap, but it'll be down to just 2 raccoons. I think we're going to be in black. Yeah, there we are in black. And as you can see, wherever your crosshair is where your secondary, what shows up in your secondary picture. And it's zoomed in so you can ID it real easy. If you're looking through the Riflescope, your crosshair is still in your secondary picture, but just pulling the video off the Riflescope, it is not. But while you're looking through it, the crosshair is definitely there, so you could actually use your secondary picture to take a shot. Again, boys and girls, this is the AGM Rattler TS35. It comes highly recommended by Kendall's Outdoors. I appreciate y'all coming in. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And please, by all means, smash that subscribe. We don't have many, but we appreciate each and every one of them that we do get. Y'all have a blessed evening, and good night.